Good afternoon, YouTubers. This is your zip code Freak. Matt Shiny here in the 92805 zip code at the SCF studios in sunny Southern California, also very hot Southern California on this Sunday, August 23rd. And we're doing an overview in the state of Virginia, our next place to look at for zips. Anything starting with 201 and then beginning with 220 and going through 246 is Virginia. There are a handful, one or so starting with 205. And as I said, maybe a couple dozen starting with 201. But for the purposes of this show and for what we're doing here, we're going to look at the ones going through from 220 through 246, which covers the vast majority of the state anyway. 201's for a few places in Nova, Northern Virginia, part of the D.C. Metro. Virginia, in its present form, well, there's been a couple different forms of Virginia. It was settled, as far as current settlement, European immigrant settlement, by folks in the early 1600s. Start off at the Tidewater, went inside the Piedmont. There's the Blue Ridge and the Shenandoah as well. And it became a state in 1788 as the 10th state, June 25th. It assumed its present form in 1863 when the northwestern part of the state broke off and became the state of West Virginia. So it hacked off quite a bit of the mountain and Coahuila Plateau and left Virginia looking pretty much the way it does today. Today's population is about 8.8 million people, 12th out of the 50 states. Area land-wise is 39,481 square miles, 37th out of the 50 states. 10 phone area codes these days, and about 886 demographic zip codes. There are more than that total, but we're just looking at places where people actually live, not post office boxes and not institutions or businesses or anything like that. Population as far as who's there, broad skin color, ethnic group things. 67.9% of the people are white, 20.0% of them are black, 7.7% Asian, 3.6% are two or more races, 0.7% are American Indian, 0.1% are Hawaiian or Pacific Islander, and 11.6% are Hispanic. It could be any race, black, white, or whatever you want to call it. Virginia is kind of unique in that there's the concept of something called the independent city. Not part of any county. The only governance it really has apart from the state is city government itself. There are a few cities like Baltimore in Maryland or St. Louis in Missouri that are like that. I don't know of any in California. If someone does, you can let me know. And I live here. You would think I would know. I'm not sure that we have any of those here. Virginia has the most of any state. There are 38 independent cities in this state, and some have gone back and forth over the centuries, over the 238 years that Virginia has been a state. Some have gone back and forth between independent city and once again back in the county status as far as government is concerned. There are 95 counties in addition to those 38 independent cities. So Virginia is kind of a strange bird in that way. And there are mounds and mounds and mounds and mounds and mounds of favorite people. Okay, notable people from Virginia. 7 of our U.S. presidents were born in this state. George Washington, who was first. Thomas Jefferson, who was third. James Madison, who was fourth. James Monroe, who was fifth. This was known as the Virginia Dynasty. Then somewhat later, the 9th president in 1841, William Henry Harrison, was born there. And John Tyler, who took over his VP when he died unexpectedly, was also from Virginia. In fact, he joined his later as he joined the Confederacy, seceded with his state, and he died in 1862. And then the last one that was president from Virginia, even though he's often given to New Jersey, and because he was governor of that state, is Thomas Woodrow Wilson, who was the 28th president, going from 28th president. So 1913 to 1921 was how long he was president for. He was the one who kept us out of war and he got us into war. But he was from Virginia, born in Staunton and grew up there and did his thing. Kind of funny that a Virginian would be all gung-ho for the League of Nations and the UN and all that kind of stuff, which he was. He was kind of an early globalist, Woodrow Wilson was. And he was pretty much and unfortunately, fitting the stereotype of the white southerner, he was a racist. He was not big on civil rights at all. Read his record. So anyway, Virginia. I don't mean to say that all Virginians are like that, but this one was, and he was the 28th president. So if you like, hit like, leave a comment in the comment section below. We will be doing 14 zip codes in this state over the time we're in it, so to speak, on this program. Have a good one. We'll see you in the next video.